Hello everyone and welcome to my Minecraft city tour. This is a video that's been a long time coming. I've been working on this city for about a year and a half now, which is when I started playing this game altogether. And yeah, there's a lot here, a lot to cover, and I've wanted to do this video for a long time, and I'm glad I'm finally able to do it. So yeah, let's start. Let's take a look. Right now we're in the downtown area. Where many of the tall skyscrapers are. There's my main building, Sutton Enterprises, I call it, and a whole bunch of other tall skyscrapers around it. Each one has floors. Most of them do. Some of them are empty, but most of them have floors. Right here, start off simple. This is a simple pizza place I did. Right in the middle of town, little place you can eat outside. And yep, just continue. As you can see these little cars on the side of the road that I built that I thought was a nice touch. And you might recognize this place, Stampy's Hot Buns, from Stampy Longhead. You probably have heard of him and seen his videos. He's really funny and really cool. So I thought I'd do this little Stampy's Hot Buns place here. Anyway, moving on. Just yep, walking through the city. I love walking through here and just looking up at the buildings and everything. That brown building right there is it's a police station. It's completely furnished with a jail, courtrooms, everything you need. Right here is my baseball field. I call it Roy Field. I named it after my dad. And it's a really cool build. It used to be a lot smaller, a lot simpler, but I redid the whole thing recently and ended up looking a lot better. It has that second floor area up there, and it just looks really cool, and I really love it. One of my favorite builds. Has a nice view of the city and the skyline. Yep, I really like it up here. And I'm moving on. This is my movie theater, and this was the first building I've ever built in this entire city. And yeah, it's really old. It's really cool to look at now for me. It's small, but you know, at the time it was really cool for me to build. So really dark in here too. Sorry for the poor quality, but it's the best I can do. Yep, you got the seats, you got the screen. Basic theater. It was really cool. Now there's this whole city out here. I mean, it used to be all desert. That's what I built it on. It was a desert biome, and as you know, it doesn't rain here, so it was a pretty good spot to build my city. Now here is the Ghostbusters firehouse. You probably recognize it. It's another one of my favorite builds. Took me a little while. I had to get the blueprints of the firehouse, and I did my best, you know, best I can do. There's Jadine's desk right there. There's Dr. Venkman's desk. And yeah, it turned out pretty good, I think. I used to have the Ecto-1 sitting in there, but it looked really crappy, so I took it out. Here's their upstairs, their lounge, their kitchen. Here's where they sleep. Their bathroom over there. Nice view outside. Really cool build. I always wanted to do it. Yep, just right in the middle of the city. And you know, there's some basic stuff like right here. We're gonna go into my grocery store. It's like a grocery store and a department store. You go upstairs on those escalators, and there's a little department area. Pretty simple, you know, pretty necessary. Across the way over here is my club/bar. Yeah, I guess most cities need a place like this. You go in, there's a bar right there, tables, there's a dance floor. Head upstairs, there's a little lounge where people can hang out, have drinks, and, you know, nice view of the city where the glass is. It's pretty cool. Thought it was pretty neat. Yep, continue on. Try to get out this door here. These doors are so hard to get through sometimes. But yeah, a lot of the buildings are just skyscrapers. Most of them are filled in. This looks like a hospital to me. It wasn't meant to be. It was just meant to be a design. But it kind of reminds me of a hospital. Right here are some townhouses, apartments, whatever you want to call them. There's a McDonald's, another one of my earlier builds, all furnished inside. Looks pretty good, pretty simple. Right here, down here, the city looks cool in this spot, especially at night. I love the city at night, how everything glows. Right here is one of my recent builds. It's a subway system. It takes you all the way to the other end of my world, where there's a bunch of houses way out in the countryside. There's houses spread apart in areas, so I thought I'd create a subway system from the city to all the main points in my world, and I'm still working on it. It's not finished. Right here is a small Barnes & Noble. Really simple. Notice books everywhere. I got all the categories and genres labeled, and I always wanted to. I love Barnes & Noble, so I wanted to add it. Yep. And right here is just another simple restaurant. I call it Isabella's Cafe. It's a basic restaurant, you know, all that you need. Nothing fancy. I have another restaurant, which I'll show you in a little bit. Much fancier one, another one of my first builds. And yeah, right there's a little convenience store, little shopping area, some random buildings. Right there is my church. It used to look a lot different, but I redid it so it fits better in the city. Yeah, it's a basic church, you know. Everything I designed myself. I never really copied off anybody or anything. Right here is it's kind of like a park, but it's like a maze. I made it into like a little walkway maze where people can walk through and just, you know, have fun. I thought it was a lot of fun to build a maze, actually. I thought it was really cool. So if that's something you're interested in doing, give it a try. It's a lot of fun to try to create your own maze. And yeah, all these buildings are my own design. I took inspiration from a lot of people. You know, I watch videos like this and see how people build their skyscrapers and their buildings and what they're building, and you take inspiration, but you don't want to copy exactly what they're doing. So I always made it so it was my own thing. These are 2 fighter jets I built. It's nighttime, so it's kind of hard to see, but yep, I thought that was a cool addition. You know, having 2 fighter jets tearing out through the city, and it's really cool to look up at while you're walking in the city. And yep, I really liked it. I thought it was a nice addition. Moving on, flying through like Superman. Yeah, it took me a year and a half to build this whole thing so far. Right here it's like a little, it's like a recreational center. It has a really big pool, like a city pool for people to swim in. And upstairs is like a basketball court, but it's not finished, so I won't take you up there. But the pool turned out really, really good, and I really like this one. Yeah, I like the lights up top, the diving board. It took a while to fill up the pool. I had to do with ice blocks, and you know, filling water in. Yeah, it was cool. Okay, out of the building. At the water's edge, there's some docks here I just built recently. I think I'm going to build more. I had boats, but they seem to have disappeared. Nice skyline there. Yep. Take boats out into the water. Right here is just a simple gas station. Me and my nephew built this. He helped me build this. One of my later builds, but it's pretty standard. He built most of it, but I tweaked at it a little bit. I let him design it for me. Right here is the city mall. I call it Trinity Mall. Yeah, it's one of the biggest builds I've done, and it's all completely furnished. I'll take you inside. Only a few stores are empty, but there's pretty much everything's filled in. Lots of different places. Here's a food court where you can buy all your food, and here's the tables where you can sit down and eat. Looks really nice. Escalators going upstairs. There's lots of stores, like an ice cream place, a bakery, a toy store, clothing stores, a tuxedo store. There's an arcade, which I'll show you in a minute. Right here is Sandy's Brazilian Bistro, named after my favorite singer. Right here is a little flower plant shop I thought was cool. You can only do so much with stores in the malls, you know what I mean? So I thought I'd just do what I could. Right here is like a video store. Over there's the toy store. There's a bookstore over there. Yeah, I thought it turned out really good. It took me a long time. I remember when I first built this place, it was I did the whole floor, and then I forgot to save it or something, or the power went out or something. I turned it off, and had to start all over and do all the floors again. It was all grass at first, and I was like, oh, that sucks. I hate when that happens. Yep, there's a fountain. Here's the arcade. There's where you like do your little dancing game, and there's all the machines and video games. Just, you know, I tried to do it as best I could. But yeah, this is the mall. Turned out really well on one of my favorite builds. Come back out into the city. I was really pleased with how it turned out. I'm always tweaking on things and working. Right here is the spaceship from the movie Independence Day. This took me about 5 hours to build to get it like to the T, you know. And that roof is over it because recently in one of the what do they call it? One of the upgrades or the updates, excuse me. Snow was falling on the peaks now, you know. So every time I'd come to my ship, there'd be snow all over it, and that always pissed me off. So I'm like, how do I get rid of this snow now? You know, there's snow all over the place now. So I had to build the roof. But it looks cool. I think the roof looks cool, and the ship turned out really good. Anyway, back into the city. Yeah, it took me, well, like I said, 1.5 years, and I never thought I'd be able to build a city like this. When I first started playing Minecraft, like building a house was like a really big deal. It was like, holy crap, you know, I built a house, this is awesome, you know. And I'd go on YouTube and I'd see videos like this, people showing off their cities, and I'd be like, how the hell did people build that? You know what I mean? So, and it's like, well, I could eventually, after a few months, I was like, I could give it a try, you know. So I went into the desert area, built a theater, built like about four small skyscrapers, and I was like, I'll just build a few things and that's it. And here we are, 1.5 years later, and I got all this stuff here, and it's pretty cool. It's a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to do. Right now we're inside my main building. Thought I'd take you through it. Go up this little elevator shaft. See, a lot of the floors are empty. Right here, if you've played the game Twisted Metal 2 for PlayStation 1, you might recognize these characters. These are all the cars and the characters from that game. Me and my brother used to play it all the time. We really loved it, and I thought it would be cool to kind of try to build the cars from that game. Yeah, that was a really fun build. Heading straight up. Here's my little penthouse, I guess, on top of the building. Here's where we started off. Got a little table, little living room. Up here's the bedroom, computer, bed and TV. Really nice, really small place. Nice view of the city. Yep, pretty cool. Right there is a building my nephew helped me build. He sometimes helps me with stuff. Very rarely, though. He doesn't play as much as I do, but when he comes over, sometimes we'll mess around. Here's my fancy restaurant. It's called Leticia. It's one of my first builds, and turned out pretty good. All black mostly. Go upstairs. There's more tables, a little bar, and a place outside where you can have your drinks or eat your dinner or whatever. Have a good view of the city. Yeah, it turned out pretty good. It was inspired by Keralis, if you ever seen his videos. I used to watch him all the time, but not as much anymore, but that's what it was kind of inspired by. Here's the little ice rink that I built, kind of on the edge of the city. I think every city should have one of these. They're really nice. From here you get a good view of the skyline. Yep, nice place to come skate, to hang out. That building's empty right there. I still got to work on that a little bit. Right here is my lighthouse. I call it the Nigmatech Lighthouse. If you've seen the movie Batman Forever, the thing on the top right here is the Nigmatech box that the Riddler created. If you've seen that movie, you know what I'm talking about. I thought it was just a random thing I'd do with this lighthouse instead of just making it a normal lighthouse. I was like, yeah, I'll put that thing on top. That would be kind of cool. Because I used to really like that movie as a kid. But yeah, it's a basic lighthouse. Stairway all the way up. There's a little room up there, but there's nothing much up there. Anyway, moving on. Going down the road. A lot of small buildings. That building's empty too. I gotta add floors to it. I don't like building skyscrapers without adding floors at least. You know, it'd be hard enough to make rooms and fill in all the rooms and everything, but yeah, at the very least I make floors. It makes it seem filled in and complete. This is one of my favorite buildings I designed. Reminds me of the Sears Tower, but it's I wanted it to be a little bit bigger because it seems like it should be bigger. Yep, just moving on, flying through. Here's like a little, I don't know, it was a random building I was trying to build of my own design. I didn't really like the design that much, but it's alright, I guess. And I put in these cars I built in here, these cool custom cars of all different colors. It's kind of like a display, a car show or whatnot. It looks pretty nice. Simple car designs. I thought building cars in the city made it seem more real. At first I didn't know how to build a car. You know, people usually build these really detailed cars and stuff. I'm like, no, I need something small and simple to fill in these parking lots. I think the design is really cool. Yeah, and I really like the skyline. And this building I really like too. It's simple, but it looks really beautiful. It turned out really good. And when we head out here, we're going to leave the city for a little bit. There's a little subdivision I started building. It's only about halfway done. I kind of want to fill in that whole area. But it's, yeah, a basic little neighborhood with small roads, small houses. About half the houses are completely furnished on the inside, and about half aren't. I meant to furnish them all, but as you know, when you play Minecraft, you start on one project and then you're off doing something else and off doing another thing, and you kind of leave things behind and don't get them finished. But that's how it is. It's still fun. I'll come back to it eventually and finish everything up. But yeah, it's a really nice neighborhood. I'm going to expand it all the way out to the end there. Yep, I really liked it. I thought it was necessary. If you look out here, way down there, you can see my Cullen house, which I did a video of before. And yeah, the Cullen house looks a lot different now, actually, because I uploaded that video a year ago. But yeah, that's basically it, I guess. Basic city, basic skyline, cool looking skyscrapers. When you build the city, you know, try to just take your time, you know, and add a little something every day if you can, or every week or whatever, and you know, over time it just adds up and adds up. I never thought my city would end up being this big. And you know, of course there are bigger cities. I've seen bigger cities in videos and stuff, but I was really, really proud of how this city turned out, and I have a lot of fun working with it. But yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and take care.